Welcome to the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, episode number 153. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Mongo Wilder.
Broadcasting from the back alley in Hollywood, it's the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, where we show you how to survive and thrive as an indie filmmaker in the jungles of the film biz. And here's your host, Alex Ferrari.
Welcome, my Indie Film Hustlers, to another episode of the Indie Film Hustle Podcast. I am your humble host, Alex Ferrari. Now, today's show is sponsored by Video Blocks. Now, if you guys are looking for stock footage, After Effects templates, motion graphics, Video Blocks is the site, man. I've been using them for years now. I use some clips of theirs in my movie This Is Meg for some stock footage. And this month alone, they're launching a new crazy collection of hundreds of new Unreal clips, including space, virtual reality, deep water, fantasy, and sci-fi footage. All of that comes free with your subscription, and it is a limited time. And you also get free 4K clips with your membership at no cost. And Video Blocks is now giving you 7 days of free downloads. Download a ton of stuff for free. Check it out, see what's going on with it. And remember, whatever you download during those 7 days is yours for free, royalty-free forever. So definitely give them a shot. So head over to videoblocks.com/indie, I-N-D-I-E. That's videoblocks.com/indie. Today's show is also sponsored by Digital Box Office. Now, Digital Box Office is a global provider of streaming movies, television, and all sorts of original content. DBO provides a dramatic new opportunity for indie filmmakers to gain previously unavailable global exposure and valuable analytics. Now, the service is going to be a data mine for Hollywood and for indie filmmakers, as Digital Box Office users are required to vote on the content that they watch on the platform via DBO's proprietary single one-click voting model. Now, you can submit your film today at upload.digitalboxoffice.tv, and you can browse their current selection at www.digitalboxoffice.tv. You can also download the app for iOS or Android at the Google Play and Apple App Store. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about something that's kind of dear to my heart. And I think it's something that everybody listening to this podcast needs to hear every once in a while. And, I do definitely need to hear it. And you need to hear stories about what we're going to talk about. And basically, today's topic is going to be why it's never too late to follow that dream. Now, I know a lot of you guys listening to this podcast right now are either on their commute to work or working out somewhere, or sitting in their house, drinking some tea or coffee, and dreaming about where you want to be in your life, where you want to be in your career as filmmakers, as artists, as writers. And, you look at it as this huge mountain that has to be climbed, or this huge dragon that needs to be wrestled down. And you're afraid of that dragon, and you're afraid of climbing that mountain for multiple reasons, whether it be failure, fear of failure, fear of trying and failing, fear of looking like a fool, fear of everything. And at the end of the day, it all goes back to fear. And I'll tell you my story. And I know if you guys have been listening to this podcast, you can see me grow as an artist and as a filmmaker through the now 153 episodes that I've done of this podcast. And, I'm in my early 40s, and I've been around the block, and I'd been chasing the dragon. My dragon was to make a feature film. And I always thought that it was an impossible goal. It was just something that was so out of reach. So that's something that other people do. I never had doubts that I could do it if given the opportunity, which was the biggest mistake and the biggest trap I fell into as a filmmaker, saying to yourself, you know what, if someone just give me the shot, I'll do it. Someone lets me get up to bat, I'll hit that home run, or I'll make them proud, or something along those lines. And I did that for a long time, and only took last year, it finally took me losing another opportunity for asking for permission to make a movie to finally say, screw it, I'm going to do it myself. And once I made my first feature, This Is Meg, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. In the summer, we're going to be releasing it on iTunes and all other platforms soon after. But when I finally decided to just get up and do it and not make these grandiose dreams of making a $200 million action extravaganza, and just said, you know what, I'm going to do something that's within my capabilities where I feel really comfortable doing it, and I'm going to challenge myself in doing it. I just got up and did it. And I wanted to talk to you guys about just doing it, and also not just doing it at when you're 20, but also doing it when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50, and when you're 60. It's never too late to follow that dream. It's never too late to write that screenplay. It's never too late to make that film, to make that short, to make that web series, to jump into the business and or any other aspect of the industry. Because you might think, oh, I'm just too late. That ship has sailed for me. I got a family, I've got kids, I've got responsibilities. Well, guess what, guys? So do I. I've got twin daughters. I've got a family I got to support. And I said, screw it, I'm going to do it. Now, you got to be smart about it. I didn't mortgage the house. I didn't charge up my credit cards, and, I did it at a small level, but I did it. And that's something that Mark Duplass and Joe Swanberg taught me when I studied their work and their careers. They just got up and did it. They had a story to tell, and they just got out and did it. So I want to give you guys a bit of hope. Whoever's listening to this, whether you're a film student just coming out of film school and you think, wow, I can never make a feature film, or I can never make that web series that I want to make, or that streaming series for Netflix, or that short film, or I can never write that screenplay. I'm here to tell you that you can, and that you need to, and that it's your responsibility to this planet, to this society, to do so. Because there's someone out there that your art will touch, and you have to do it no matter what age you are. I just made my first feature film last year, and we'll be releasing it this year. Since then, I've been given, I've been directing here and there commercials and things like that, but I'm not sure if it's directly because of Meg, but I think Meg had something to do with it. I got hired to do a streaming series for Legendary Pictures Digital and The Nerdist. And it was amazing. Just because I got up and started doing stuff, doors start opening and opportunities present themselves. And you'll be amazed at what happens when you get up and move and you do something. And like the quote at the beginning of the episode was, a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. So, so true. You can be comfortable, but it's when you get uncomfortable is when you grow, when you challenge yourself. I was the DP on Meg. I've never DP'd a feature before, but I said, screw it, I'm going to challenge myself. And it came out well. Hopefully you guys will take a look at it and you let me know. I am constantly getting emails and, Facebook messages from you guys, the tribe. And I've heard multiple stories of filmmakers who are in their 50s and even one that's in their 60s. They said, you know what? Because of listening to your podcast, I got up and I'm making my first feature film. And at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter if it makes $1 million. That shouldn't be the goal. The goal is to get it made, to be proud of the work you do. If you do it at a small enough budget, you can experiment. You can have fun. Meg was probably the most wonderfully creative process I'd ever gone through in my entire career. It was painless. I can't even explain to you how painless the process was. And anyone who's listening knows that making a film is not a painless process. It's usually extremely painful. It's usually extremely hard, but everything just flowed so beautifully and so wonderfully on that project because we just kind of let go. We let go. I let go. I have absolutely no expectations of Meg. I don't expect her to make $1 million. I don't expect her to make $5. I'm going to do my job, put it out in the world in the best way I know how, and you have to be intelligent about the marketing and the distribution and so on, but I'm just putting it out there. And I have been offered distribution deals from other distributors, but I said, no, I don't want it. You know, I much rather do it myself and see what I can do. Mind you, don't get me wrong. No one's showing up with $1 million. I haven't turned down any major money, but the offers that have been put on my table, it's just like, you know what? I'd rather not do it this way. I'd rather just do it myself, and and let the chips fall where they may, because we did it for a reasonable budget, something that we felt very comfortable with. So it's never, ever, ever too late, guys. If you're listening again right now and you're in your 40s like I am, you're in your 50s and you've never done a feature and it's something you've always wanted to do, educate yourself and get up and do it. Maybe you already have the tools. Maybe you have all the education that you need to go get this movie made. But you should do it, and do it smart. Do it smart. Do it at a low budget, but go out and do it. Don't ever let time, age, circumstances stop you from making your art, making your film, writing that screenplay. By the way, no one, absolutely no one listening to this should give me any excuses about writing a screenplay or a scriptment or anything like that, because that is literally just time, a computer, and Final Draft or Scribber. Okay? Something like that. That's all you need to make a screenplay. So I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody listening to this podcast. But filmmaking costs a little bit more. You need a little bit more resources, a little bit more people, a few more people to put it all together. But you can do it. And if you can use me as an inspiration for what I did with Meg, for those who have not heard the multiple podcasts about Meg and the process I did making Meg, just so you know, I had, on the heaviest day on set, 3 people on the crew. Myself, my second camera, and the guy holding the boom. Not the sound guy, the guy holding the boom. That's it. Everything else was the actors, which pitched in. My star Jill, she was the slate. She was also craft service. She was also a producer. We kept it extremely small, extremely lean. You can do that too. It depends also on the kind of story you're trying to tell, but ours was a comedy drama, and we thought we could make it work, and we did. So keep it small. If you're intimidated about making a big feature, big things right off the bat, and you've never done anything, keep it small. Even if it's for yourself, just make it for yourself. And if it never gets released, great. You could just show it to your friends. But make it happen, guys. I guarantee you that once you get up off your ass and do something, you will thank me. Trust me, I've been down this road with you guys for 20 years. And when I finally decided to get up off my ass and start doing stuff, amazing things have been happening. And I want to keep sharing all of those experiences with you guys as I continue to move forward through my filmmaking career. And hopefully I can continue to help and in some small way inspire other filmmakers, other screenwriters, other artists to get up and do their thing. But I'll leave you on this note, guys. I'm talking to that 40-something or that 50-something out there right now, or even that 30-something out there right now. And they're listening to this podcast on their commute, on their workout, sitting at home, sitting at a park, wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. I'm talking directly to you. You need to stop thinking about doing something and start fucking doing it. Okay? I really, really mean that from the bottom of my existence. You have to stop making excuses. You have to stop stopping yourself. You have to stop putting obstacles in front of you, because there's going to be enough obstacles. You don't need to put more of your own bullshit and obstacles in front of yourself to stop you from doing what you want to do. Now, I know a lot of you out there are like, Alex, I don't got the money, man. I don't have the money. I've got a family. I can't do it. Figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way. You're listening to this podcast either on a computer or on an iPhone or an Android phone. So you've got that much. So if you've got an iPhone or an Android phone, more than likely you've got a camera and you can go out and make your movie with that. Don't say you need to have, I need to shoot it with an Alexa, or I need to shoot it with an Ursa Mini, or I need to shoot it with a Red in order to make my movie. Go make your movie with whatever you can make it with, man. Mark Duplass and Joe Swanberg, they picked up mini DV cameras and they went out and shot their movies. DSLRs, whatever, borrow it, do whatever you have to do. Go get your camera, go get some gear, and go make a movie. Grab some friends, get some actors, write a script, go make your movie. Okay? Be okay with failing. Be okay with stumbling and looking foolish. Because trust me, I literally announced to everybody listening to this podcast I was going to make this movie. If this movie fails dramatically, guess what? I'm completely exposed to the world on my whole process of how I made this movie and how it failed. If it's good, if it's bad, or it's indifferent. But I said, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have any attachments. I don't care what other people think of it. I just did it. And I'm very proud of the work I did. And I'm proud of the stuff that I'm going to be doing in the future because of it. But guys, get off your ass, start doing something to move yourself forward, because I promise you, and this is from talking from experience, tomorrow morning, you're going to be waking up and you're going to be 70. You're going to be 80. And you're going to go, oh my God, what happened to my life? Oh my God, I didn't do what I needed to do. I didn't conquer the mountains I needed to conquer. I didn't wrestle the dragons I needed to wrestle. Hear in my voice, guys, please. Go out, make your movies, write that screenplay, do your art. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't be afraid of failing. Just get off your fucking ass and do it. I hope this episode was a little inspirational to you guys. You know, when I curse, I generally curse with a purpose. So I'm also going to release today as well. If you guys have not heard episode 88, I'm going to do a throwback Friday to episode 88. So I'm going to release both of these today on Friday. And I want you guys, if you haven't listened to episode 88, which is entitled, Why Are Filmmakers Always So Fucking Broke and How You Can Change It, maybe this is a great companion for that, because it's easily one of my most popular episodes ever. And I think it's time that everyone listens to it again, because it's inspirational for me. And I did it. Every once in a while, I'll listen to it. I'm like, damn it, man, I got to go out and do something. So I hope this episode's inspirational. Check out the Throwback Friday that I'm going to do as well for that episode 88. And guys, you know I love you guys, man. I really do. And I want you guys to succeed. And everything I do here at Indie Film Hustle is to share as much information and as much knowledge and experience as I can with you guys in a truthful, honest, no bullshit kind of way. And I hope you guys appreciate it and find some value in it. So I also have a bunch of cool stuff coming up in the future. In the months to come, I have some ideas and things that I'll be doing with Indie Film Hustle. I am going to be revamping the site a bit. New design I'm going to be working on. Don't hold me to when, but we're working on it. And there might be some other kind of cool things I'm doing as well. And I haven't forgotten, I did challenge myself at the beginning of the year to make 2 feature films this year, and we're in April. Now, to my defense, I have been busy. And now I'm in the middle of post on that web series that I'm doing. But don't worry, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 movies in the can. I can't promise it'll be finished, but it will be in the can by the end of the year. That's my goal. Just got to get up and do it, guys. And if you guys want the show notes for this episode, go to indiefilmhustle.com/153, and I'll have links to Mark Duplass and Joe Swansburg's work, so you guys can take a look at all of their stuff and their story and get more inspiration. By the way, you have to listen to both keynote, South by Southwest keynote addresses, both by Mark and by Joe. Insane. And I'll have links to that in the show notes. If you want to get inspired, if you really need to get off your ass, these guys will help you get there. And I hope this podcast did a little bit to get you off your butts as well. As always, keep that hustle going, keep that dream alive, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Indie Film Hustle podcast at indiefilmhustle.com. That's INDIEFILMHUSTLE.com.